Hello, hello, fiends, and welcome to another horrific edition of Casey's Creepy Creations. Tonight we have a truly nauseating little nugget that I wrote and narrated, which I like to call The Forgotten Woods. As always, we caution that the above video is not suitable for children, and if you suffer from a weak heart, please watch at your own risk. The osprey dipped low, its shadow skimming the eerily silent streets of Beaver Creek, Oregon. Sergeant Major Reyes, call sign Reaper, scanned the town through his night vision goggles. Empty. Not a soul stirred, not a light flickered. Just rows of darkened houses, like vacant eyes staring back at them. "Ghost town," whispered Sergeant Miller, his voice crackling through Reaper's headset. The rest of the team, Corporal Doc Sanchez, Specialist Hawk Jones, and Private First Class Rookie Thompson, remained silent, their apprehension palpable. They were special forces, trained for the unthinkable, but this unnatural silence was unsettling. Their mission was simple: recon. Beaver Creek had gone dark 2 days ago. All communications cut off. No distress calls. No signs of evacuation. Just silence. The last message from the local sheriff had been chillingly brief. "They're in the trees." The Osprey landed in the deserted town square, its powerful downdraft swirling dust and leaves. As the ramp lowered, Reaper motioned his team forward. "Stay frosty," he muttered. The air was thick with the scent of pine and something else. Something metallic and faintly putrid. They moved as phantoms through the deserted streets, their boots crunching on fallen leaves. The silence was broken only by the creaking of rusted swing sets and the distant rustling of leaves in the surrounding forest. Then they found the first sign of what had happened. It was Sheriff Brody, impaled on the town's welcome sign. His body was grotesquely distorted, limbs twisted at unnatural angles. But it wasn't just the broken bones that made Reaper's stomach churn. It was the unnatural growth protruding from Brody's chest, a pulsating mass of bone and flesh that resembled a grotesque thorny vine. "Jesus Christ," Doc whispered, his face pale. The rustling in the woods intensified. Reaper raised his hand, signaling the team to halt. He could hear it now, a low growl, deep and guttural, like nothing he'd ever heard before. Then the trees parted, and they saw them. A pack of wolves, but not like any wolves Reaper had ever seen. They were larger, their fur matted and bristling, their eyes glowing with an unnatural luminescence. Bone spurs jutted from their shoulders and backs, and their teeth were elongated, like jagged shards of glass. They snarled, their growls echoing through the silent town. "Contact!" Reaper yelled, raising his M4. The team opened fire, the staccato bursts of gunfire shattering the silence. The wolves charged, their movements unnaturally fast and agile. One lunged at Rookie, its jaws snapping shut inches from his face. Hawk reacted instantly, driving his combat knife into the creature's skull. The wolf collapsed, its glowing eyes dimming. The fight was brutal and chaotic. The wolves fought with a ferocity Reaper had never encountered, their mutated bodies seemingly impervious to pain. Doc was dragged down, screaming, as a wolf tore into his leg. Reaper emptied his magazine into the creature, finally bringing it down. They retreated to the Osprey, dragging the wounded Doc with them. As they lifted off, Reaper looked back at the town, now overrun by the mutated creatures. He saw more than just wolves now, distorted deer with antlers like razor-sharp branches, squirrels the size of dogs with glowing red eyes. The forest itself seemed to be alive, pulsating with a malevolent energy. Back at base, they learned the horrifying truth. 20 years ago, a military convoy transporting experimental alien biological samples had crashed near Beaver Creek. The samples, designed to enhance biological resilience, had leaked into the environment. The local wildlife had been the first to be affected. Now, 2 decades later, the mutated creatures had reached a critical mass, consuming the town and everything in it. The order came down, sterilized the area. No survivors, no witnesses. Reaper felt a chill run down his spine. They were going back, not to rescue, but to exterminate. The second assault was a nightmare. They encountered heavier resistance than before. Mutated bears, their fur thick with bony plates, charged through the streets. Giant owls with wingspans wider than cars swooped down from the sky. The team fought their way to the center of town, where they discovered the largest mutation yet, a massive black bear, its body riddled with pulsating growths, its eyes glowing with malevolent intelligence. Beside it were 2 cubs, smaller but equally monstrous. The battle was apocalyptic. Explosions rocked the town as the team unleashed their full arsenal. Hawk was crushed beneath the giant paw of the mother bear. Rookie, screaming in terror, was dragged into the woods by a swarm of mutated rats. Reaper, fueled by adrenaline and grief, emptied his remaining grenades into the mother bear, finally bringing the monstrous creature down, but the cubs escaped, disappearing into the dense forest. As the last osprey lifted off, carrying Reaper and the mortally wounded Doc, Reaper knew this wasn't over. The cubs were out there, carrying the mutated DNA. They would spread and the nightmare would begin again. He looked back at the burning town, the smoke rising into the sky like a funeral pyre. Beaver Creek was gone, a sacrifice to a horror beyond human comprehension. And somewhere, in the dark heart of the forest, the seeds of that horror were taking root, waiting to bloom again. Well, boils and ghouls, we've come to the end of yet another terrifying tale. If you've liked what you've seen, please feel free to drop us a like, a comment, or maybe even a subscription. They may seem like little things to you, but they mean a lot to us here at the dungeon. If you liked the video and would like to find out how it was made, click the link in the description below. I am affiliated with Fleeky AI and will receive commission if you decide to make a purchase. They also have a free plan as well if you would like to try it out. And by the way, if you like what we've got for you here, then maybe you might want to check out these other YouTubers, Overlord DVD, Theta Zord, Osaka Chandal, and Stark of Iron. Links in description. They're to die for. Thanks, and unpleasant dreams until we meet again.